Hello, ladies, gentlemen. Welcome back to a brand new video. And I know what you're thinking, this is not New World and we are uploading it to the second channel. Now, once upon a time, I used to actually make RuneScape videos. Believe it or not, this is actually my channel. And once upon a time, about a year ago, I used to really enjoy this game. I used to play it every single day, used to make videos on it every single day. And then at some point in my life, the Shattered League started, and then a lot of personal issues happened, and I completely quit the game. As you can see, the last video I uploaded was 11 months ago, and before that I was already quite burned out, and I completely stopped with the game. Now, whenever I do decide to return to this main channel, I will actually upload a video explaining as to what happened to me in life, or whatever it was that forced me or made me not enjoy the game and quit the game for the moment. But that is going to be dropping on the main channel. For now though, I did stumble across this video, which is which skill do we want to see in old school RuneScape next. And as somebody who has been absolutely addicted to old school RuneScape for majority of his life, this is something that actually interests me. And I kept myself from watching this because for the last year I actually did not really log into the game. I logged now to have like an intro, and that's it. I didn't really play the game. I didn't really log into it. I didn't really participate in any old school RuneScape activities, so there is a lot to be discovered still when I eventually do return to the game. For today though, we're just gonna be reacting to this video and see what kind of pitches the game developers are coming out and see if this is something that would interest us. So that being said, let's just jump right into it. If you want to see the original video, it's gonna be in the description, and yeah, let's see what this is all about. So I hope the volume will be good. I'll try to play it a little bit louder, and let's just get right into it.
Hey everyone!
Hey everyone! Today,
hopefully,
we're gonna take you
this
through
is good
three
volume.
Completely different skill pitches. Hey, I'm Madalena, and I'm here to tell you about a pitch that every player who loves animals has been waiting for. Have you ever wandered around Gillianor and looked at a strong bear or a cunning wolf and wished it could help you on your adventures? Or perhaps you've simply wanted to care for a cuddly little chinchompa instead of using it as an explosive projectile to destroy your enemies. Well, maybe now you can do just that. So settle down, grab a blanket, and listen to our most wholesome skill pitch yet. Taming.
Okay, first out of, I believe there's gonna be 3 pitches for the new skills in old school RuneScape, and the first one, Taming. Now, what is the first thing I think about when I think this? Now, as somebody who has played RS3, the first thing that comes to mind is having a little pet that does stuff for you, right? So for example, in RuneScape 3, you have a legendary pet that can pick up loot, and I think that's most things they do. So I guess that's the first resemblance that this shows, but let's listen more into it.
Taming is a utility skill, all about discovering new and existing creatures around the world and taming them into friendly companions. If you earn their trust and take care of them, in return, they'll aid you on your adventures.
Okay, so how can... Okay, I mean, yeah. Alright.
Can utilize their unique abilities to interact with the world in entirely new ways and deepen your bond with your animal companions by training and leveling them up to make their abilities even stronger. First, let's address the elephant in the room. This is not summoning. For those of you who remember the skill in RuneScape, the similarities only go as far as having a companion which can aid you with various different types of content across the game. While Summoning's gameplay loop behaved like a mix of rune crafting and Slayer, and required players to collect charms, Taming will instead bring the long-term bond between you and your companions to the forefront with an involved taming process. Taming will require study and knowledge of creatures and their behaviors, provide an in-depth animal care and well-being system, and even the capability to level up your companion as you help teach them new abilities. Each and every creature will...
Okay, I mean, so far this seems interesting. I guess that's all I really have to say. I'll just listen to it fully and then we'll talk about it.
...will be unique. From the abilities it possesses, to the food it likes, or even the type of environment it wants to live and work in. Each creature has its own quirks, habits, and desires, just like real pets. As a result, taming has a lot of potential to interact with other skills, learning to prepare the perfect food, crafting the perfect toy, or even constructing the perfect house for them to live in.
I love how they did these little cool animations, and the presentation is quite nice actually.
Once you've tamed your companion, the fastest way to train it will be by testing its mettle at dedicated taming activities around the world. Some companions may find joy in running specific obstacle courses. Others may find the sense of danger thrilling and would want to navigate elaborate mazes and traverse dangerous dungeons. Some may just want the cozy bonding time from playing good old fetch. Now, let's talk about why you'd want to tame a companion. The biggest benefit to doing so is gaining access to all of the things that companions can do which you cannot. Fangs, fins, gills, wings, these are all attributes that companions can have. A well-trained companion can utilize some of these to help you by
Okay.
unlocking access to new areas or helping with existing content.
I mean, alright, let me get a pet to take care of my herbs, man, it's time.
As a reward from the skill, taming would naturally provide access to a whole series of content updates that only the most dedicated of tamers can handle. Lastly, here's what will happen if you vote for taming to advance to the refinement stage. The biggest unknown for us is what kind of perks you'd like to see and how strong they should be. How involved would you like to be in caring for your companion's needs?
I feel like if it's a skill, it would need to be something that is like, I think you'd need to be quite often interacting with it, like if that's the question, right? I don't know if it is something that would work if it's like just like super passive as you're playing, you're just getting XP. I feel like you would need to do something to gain the XP other than that. But so far, I don't know if I necessarily like really like this pitch. I mean, the idea is there and it can probably be built to be an amazing skill, but I'm looking forward to check the others. And then we'll kind of rate them, which ones we think are the best and which ones we think are not that great.
How do existing pets fit alongside the system? We want to explore how, if at all, you'd like for these companions to work in combat. We'd also
combat. I mean, you probably don't want to make something like a pack yak, right? Something that can hold your items. So how would pets interact? You could probably go. I don't know, because people will always find the reason to be like, oh yeah, this is now too broken. But I don't know, like some suggestions, right? The pet could carry food, the pet could provide, I don't know, slower prayer drain, faster stamina recovery, picking up loot, for example, automatically picking up loot from the floor. That comes from like RS3, right? But anything that there would be, it would need to make the game more AFKable, I feel like. Because if their pitch is to have companions, I think the idea behind it is to make it a little bit easier, maybe? I don't know. But from RS3's point of view, I'd say picking up items, something like that could be interesting.
I'd also like to work with you all to decide what kinds of content should be included in the release, such as pet sanctuaries where you store companions, a creature catalog for documenting information, what training activities you'd like your companions to have, player versus player creature fights, or even a companion-only boss encounter or raid. The possibility
companion-only raid. I don't know. Let's hear the other pitches.
Abilities really are endless. Do you want to add some quality of life features to existing content? Or are you looking
I feel like that would be like the more realistic one, but still.
to find the goodest boy and take care of him? Or do you simply want to try your hand at taming them all? If so, in the upcoming poll, vote yes to taming.
I mean, credit where credit is due. Her presentation was actually really nice, I feel like. Do I believe that taming can be in RuneScape? I mean, in a way, sure, why not? I mean, why not? But we'll see the rest of the pitches. Realistically, I'm not like let's say from 1 to 10, I'm not like a 10 excited. Oh yeah, taming, woo, let's go, like this is amazing. I'd give it like maybe like a 5, as of like, just based on the pitch, which could then be further increased by, I don't know, just more ideas or whatever. But let's go into the next one.
Hey, I'm Mod Husky, and today I'm going to talk to you about our most surprising skill pitch. A skill pitch that none of you
That's gonna be sailing, surely.
coming, and is sure to catch the community by surprise. This is a skill that will allow you to meticulously travel parts of Gielinor that you are currently unable to access, to explore new and exciting content across the game world, and learn to overcome one of the greatest forces of nature in the world. Of course, you all know what this pitch is by now. Let's talk about sailing.
Alright, cool. So sailing is one of those skills that was previously pitched as a first skill added on to old school RuneScape. And back then it was not the best pitch, but realistically, if it went through, I feel like sailing could be like one of the sickest skills in the game. You could almost have it sort of like a dungeoneering loop. You can have like, I feel like you can put so many things into sailing where you can go like explore islands, have dungeons, complete islands, so say, complete or dungeons, whatever you want to do it. You can have upgraded ships, you can have upgraded loot higher the level you are. You can have a money sink implemented into it if you want to be upgrading the ships, going on longer trips with a better ship, maybe even having a crew that you need to pay that provides you certain benefits that allows you to go to these more dangerous islands and so on and so forth. I feel like sailing is one of those skills that is completely limitless. I believe that this, like for example, if the last one, if the Taming was like 5 out of 10, I feel like sailing is like a good on 9.2 out of 10. I feel like the potential of the sailing skin can literally be the limit. Imagination can just take care of this skill completely, and almost anything you come out with can work. I mean, we have like diving in the game, so you could sail to an island and then dive down, and then, I don't know, there's like monsters or there's like dungeons, right? You can, I don't know, fucking even sail to an island where you can have your own island. There is so many limits that you can go absolutely crazy, and it would probably work. So this is one of the skills I personally would absolutely love to see in RuneScape. I think it would be sick.
Join us on this adventure and acquire a ship to take to the seas. Master the art of sailing and explore the world in a brand new way, setting foot on new islands and traversing hazardous waters, storms, and sea monster attacks. Whether you're an adventurer uncovering new places to explore, a fisherman catching fish only available far out at sea, or a pirate venturing into dangerous waters looking to sink every ship in sight to plunder treasure, or even...
Okay, so what do we see of this? Obviously these are just concept pictures, but I would like to see if sailing was a skill. I would like to see almost like a bigger ship with like a bigger crew, and like you could almost have like chests on the ship, maybe like a bank on the ship where you would have like, I don't know, like a plundered reward and stuff like that. And then let's say you go all these islands, and the more islands you go to, the more dangerous they get, the harder it becomes, the more loot you get. But then you also need to make it back to safety, and if you don't make it back to safety, also known as quote unquote you die, or you get, I don't know, you crash your ship, all the loot is gone. So it would be like high risk, high reward type thing. I feel like, dude, if you could come out with so many cool things on this skill. Like this is something I would really like to see. But obviously, like what they are presenting could be like completely different to what I'm imagining. But that's like the beauty of something as simple as sailing. Oh, sailing is now a skill, and you can come up with so many different ideas about it.
Even a courier looking to move goods from A to B, for a price of course. Sailing has something to offer for everyone looking to spend their time out at sea. So acquire a vessel, set forth, and experience Gielinor from a fresh and salty new perspective. Jokes aside though, this has been the most suggested skill pitch from the community, and one you have all been the most vocal about wanting in some form or another. Now, to you veterans of the community, you've been here before. The old school team pitched sailing as the first new skill back in 2015. But let's make it abundantly clear that this is not the same skill it was back then. It's been revamped, remastered, and re-envisioned, thanks to input from various pillars of the community, and also your responses in the survey. Let's take a look and dive into how sailing can work in old school RuneScape. First up, you'll have to make your way to a port and acquire a ship, whether it be a standard ship, a Viking longboat, or even a dwarven steamboat. The method of acquisition is up to you, whether you buy one, borrow one, steal one, or build one for yourself. Once you have a ship, you can navigate the seas and undertake a variety of activities, either self-imposed or directed from various NPCs at port.
Yes, I think listening to this, it's more meant as you will be alone on a ship and then taking care of stuff. if it goes that way, I'm also completely fine with that. But I still think, I mean, there's so many like captains and stuff on the game that I feel like having like your own crew would probably be kind of cool. Yeah.
This is how we envision the bulk of XP being awarded. You could search for an elusive sea monster, seek out the best places to acquire rare fish, undertake a series of sailing time trials, or simply bask in the unrivaled thrill of sea exploration. With the sailing skill release, our goal is to really make it feel like a fully fledged sea expansion, which functions as its own biome with a whole bunch of new, interesting, and dynamic content, and not just the copy-pasted sea texture that it currently is. If this has whet your appetite for the high seas, next I'd like to talk about what you can expect should you vote for sailing to advance to the refinement stage. First and foremost is navigation at sea. We definitely want to be more ambitious than the Bon Voyage quest, and there are...
Okay, for those of you who do not know the resemblance, the Bon Voyage quest, you literally can click left or right on the little, what like the pop-up thingy, and then it just steers your ship either left or right, and it tells you which way not to drift. It's really badly done, but yeah.
Number of possibilities we could go with, from click to move, WASD key...
WASD to move on the water. I don't know, I feel like that just is a true skip, no? Imagine like everything is point and click, and then you chill, you hop on a boat, and all of a sudden you're moving with like WASD. I don't know, I feel it would be a bit weird, but I mean, I'm open to it, honestly.
Or setting your direction on interface, or perhaps something else entirely. Additionally, how large or small should the ships be? Are you the ship, or...
Okay, so that first question, I think the ship should be huge, and you should have your own crew, and your own little bank on the ship, and your own little like storage area where you're like you can put the plundered loot and stuff like that. That would be like my almost like an ideal way.
Are you on a ship? And what level of customization should a ship have? Whether it's for flexing your sailing achievements or improving your ship's performance.
I mean, I feel like it's one of those things where it's like, you know, woodcutting is like you have tree, oak, willow, yew, whatever. I feel like with ships you should go like basic, then better, and then like 99 should be like an absolutely sick looking ship, right?
And of course, what activities would you like to do at sea? We've had a load of ideas to connect sailing with other skills just by asking, how would this work at sea? What could you farm? What could you fish? What could you slay? What could you hunt? Could clues work at sea? The sheer number of possibilities is an exciting prospect. Whether you're an explorer, a sailor, a mercenary, a pirate, or a simple merchant, sailing has something to offer for everyone, so hop on board and let us know in the upcoming poll if you'd like to take to the seas by voting yes to sailing.
Alright, so now we got 2 pitches out of 3 out of the way. I think Taming sounded cool, but I wasn't like super excited about it. But now sailing is definitely, in my opinion, a step up from Taming, and like if the other one was like 5 out of 10, this one for me, as I said earlier, would be like 9.2 out of 10, right? This is something I would absolutely love to see in old school, even if it isn't like now. I'd be so down to have this even later down the road if it doesn't go through in this stage, right? But yes, sailing just naturally seems like such a good skill for the game that I personally hope it would get into the game. But from the 2 skills we know so far, sailing is on top for me. And now the last one.
Hi, I'm Mod Light, and I'm excited to talk to you about our wildest skill pitch. This is a combination skill with both a gathering and production element to bring you something new, mysterious, and exciting.
Also, I didn't compliment Mod Husky. I think he did a great pitch. I think he presented it pretty nicely, so well played to him.
Get ready for Shamanism.
Shamanism. Okay, I have no idea what to expect from this, so I'm just gonna listen.
With Shamanism, you can study the mysterious power of nature and unlock the ability to perform rituals by gathering resources from nature and tapping into the spirit realm to infuse them, producing powerful items like tikis, totems, and...
Okay... Okay, so skill that can further enhance the gear. And maybe gives you like... okay, interesting, but...
In addition to enhancing your own equipment. Through mastering Shamanism, you unlock your third eye, and gain access to the spirit realm, a new area of the game to explore
Okay, that sounds cool.
where you can commune with spirits. In the gathering part of shamanism, you'll collect two different kinds of resources, spiritual and natural.
That sounds pretty cool as well.
Natural resources come in two forms. Some resources you can forage across Gielinor, such as mushrooms, roots, bark, and leaves. Others can be harvested directly from creatures using a carving knife, such as taking bone marrow from a giant, the blood of a hellhound, or the spleen from a giant frog.
Okay, so maybe it's like one of those things where you could do the skill as you're doing like combat, I guess?
Spiritual resources are harvested from the spirit realm. You can track down disturbed sites where the connection to the spirit realm is the strongest, and then reap the rewards. We know from your feedback that you didn't want to see another viable production skill, and that's exactly why we've looked to incorporate gathering directly into shamanism. Our intention is to make the majority of resources that you gather untradeable. This ensures a more interesting and exciting gameplay loop.
Okay, so what this kind of, in a way, okay, not exactly, but the whole untradeable idea, it kind of reminds me maybe of archaeology in a way, but not really. In RS, no, maybe not, but just the idea behind it maybe, but
Then
never mind. Scratch that. Ignore the fact that I mentioned that. Okay.
simply buying the resources from the Grand Exchange, and then
But I do like the idea that you need to get stuff done yourself. Otherwise, rich get richer. Shaking my head.
standing at a bank to train the skill. Now, let's move on to production. Once you've gathered the natural and spiritual resources required, you'll have to perform a ritual to infuse the natural resources with the spiritual ones. To do so, you'll need to create and use a ritual circle. These can be drawn in most outdoor areas. The
That seems kind of cool though, low-key.
products of shamanism could include tikis, poultices, oils, incenses, idols, relics, totems, a collection of quirky magical utility items, and even enhancements to your existing equipment. Now, you may be wondering how the spirit realm comes into this and what you could do there. For us, it's this twist that sets shamanism apart from other skills. The spirit realm is an alternate reality where spirits live and is the source of a shaman's power. Disturbed sites are closely linked to the spirit realm, and experienced shamans can use their understanding of the two to move freely between them.
That sounds kind of interesting. But also, kind of, how the fuck do you implement all of that at the same time?
As your shamanism level increases, you'll be able to access deeper parts of the spirit realm. And who knows what you'll find inside. Now, let's wrap things up by talking about what's next for shamanism. If approved for refinement, we want to discuss with the community how shamanism can enhance existing equipment. It's a
Yeah, that's where it gets sketchy, right? Because people and the power creeps and so on and so forth will always have a say, right? Because like you cannot enhance an equipment without making it stronger. So if that is one of the main pitches of shamanism, I don't know. I have no idea. I actually don't know. Yeah, no clue.
huge draw of the skill, but we need to know what you think. Should enhancements be permanent or temporary?
I feel like permanent because, okay, if we're looking at enhancements point of view, you're probably looking at something like invention on RS3. As in, you can put perks onto the armor, and that perks pool can be almost unlimited. I mean, you have, when people hit you, they take damage. You have, I don't know, higher chance of obtaining better loot. I mean, you have literally like so many different ways of putting say perks on the armor. If they wanted to go that way, you can just look into invention. I personally think invention is one of the coolest skills in RS3. So you could just look there and then take some inspiration from there maybe. But once again, the problem would then be creating like an insane power creep, right?
Should they be visible to other players? What can you enhance? How many enhancements should there be? And what kinds of benefits should they provide? We'd also like to talk about the specifics of the gathering side of the skill, such as how intensive it is and how many different training methods we should include. So, whether you simply want to train another gathering-like skill, whether you're excited about the prospect of enhancing your own equipment, or you're just interested in exploring the powers of nature and the spirit realm, in the upcoming poll, vote yes to shamanism.
I mean, that's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. I believe that was Mod Light showcasing this one. Personal opinion, I would go as far as to say if the Taming was a 5 out of 10 and if the Sailing was a 9.2 out of 10, I'd put this one as a nice little 7.5. I think Sailing just beats it in my personal opinion, but maybe I don't know. I just like the idea of sailing, man. I want my ship, I want to go around and I want to have some fun. But then again, if Shamanism were to pass, I think that could also be cool. Completely new, literally sky's the limit, right? You can do so many options with it. So, I mean, I like both Shamanism and Sailing. I think both are pretty cool. That's my personal opinion. I mean, I don't really know what else to add. This was a nice, enjoyable watch. I guess we'll talk when we know a little bit more about everything. But from what I see, I hope Sailing passes, and when the skill is in the game, I might hopefully, maybe, perhapsingly, play the game again. We'll figure it out. We'll see. I hope you all are going to have a lovely rest of your day, and I will catch you in another video. Have a lovely day. Have a lovely day. Have a good one. See you around, and thank you for watching. Bye bye.